Has this ever happened to you? You take a loss, maybe two, then you fight your way back to break even or very close to it. Now you're staring at your P&L wondering, do I stop here or do I go for green? Because technically you didn't make anything, but you also didn't lose. And that's when the most dangerous thought comes in. It's like I didn't trade at all. So what's the harm in taking just one more trade? Today, I want to talk about why that one more moment is one of the hardest mental traps in trading and how we can get past it. All right, so this is the trade that I'm about to get into here. It's my A long. I wanted to wait. I wasn't crazy about getting in here. I didn't like the 25-point stop. So I sized down to 1 micro here with the thought that if I lose $50 and I see another entry for a second trade on 1 micro, then I can take it. But I mean, it's above the opening range. The MA was like straight up more than 50 points. So I had to take the trade. And I like the signal candle. So what happens here? I got stopped out on that trade. And then I'm watching here. I know this looks like I'm just gonna like, it looks like a revenge trade, but it's not. I was watching to see if that area just above the opening range high was going to hold up and if it was going to be a good signal candle. I liked it. It was. So I did get into a second long here. Also, I think the difference for me here was that when I looked at that, I thought, like, I took a second to go, do I still want to be in a long here? And I thought, yes, I still want to be in a long here. I don't think that the structure has broken down, and I'm still looking for that 250 target. Um, yeah, so I did take two trades, so I broke the one trade rule, but I did size down to 1 micro in each. So when I was looking at this, the thinking behind it was I'm not risking more than $100 between these two trades. So I think if I can keep the loss below $100, like the daily loss below 100, then I'm okay with that. This was a tough one to hold, and I moved my stop just a bit above break even. And what happens here? Ugh, it got quite close to my target, and then I just got out for 23 points because I didn't want it to come all the way down. So basically, break even on the day, I lost $8. And then, of course, the trade went to my 250 target and beyond. So I should have held and just left my stop alone. I think the strange thing about this is that losing $100 can actually feel easier to accept than finishing the day flat. I know that's the case for me, anyways. I think because with a clear loss, there's finality to it. The story's written. You lost today, it's over. But at break even, there's this unfinished feeling like you fought all that way for nothing. Your brain sees it as wasted effort, even though in reality, it's actually damage control done right. You didn't lose money, but your mind tells you you lost time, you lost opportunity, and of course, pride. And that creates the urge to keep trading just to justify the time that you spent. What really happens when you get back to break even is a perfect storm of biases. You feel like the day doesn't count, so you convince yourself that you've just reset the scoreboard, but you haven't. Your focus, discipline, and decision making are already depleted. You're not starting fresh, you're starting fatigued. And the same emotions that made you chase your way back to break even are still in play. This is why so many traders end up closing red after hitting break even because mentally that win isn't big enough to satisfy. So we chase the feeling instead of the result. I know for me, some of my worst losing days were days like, so I'd take one or two trades and I'd be down, I don't know, like say $500. So I'd lose $500. I'd, either through one good trade or a few scalps, work my way back up to break even or very close. Sometimes even up. I like It's crazy how I can remember these things, but like there's definitely been times where I've been up like 20, $35. And in the moment, I've thought I'm at break even, I'm up a little bit, I should stop. I should call it for the day and be done, but then I don't. I get back in. And I'd say on these types of days, 9 times out of 10, it has resulted in obviously like just over trading. I feel like once I get to that point, there's no just taking valid setups, there's no more patience. It's just over trading and wanting to make money quickly to get out. But then obviously what happens is the opposite, and I've ended up losing money. So if I started off the initial loss being $500 and working my way back to break even, usually on those days, the loss would end up being closer to $1,000. And then I would always look back at the day and I'd look back at my journal because on those I would just start keeping track of like the amounts. So once I got to break even, then it would be like break even. And then it would be like minus 200, minus whatever, up to this. And I would always look back at the journal on those days and see where I got to break even. And I'd always think, why the hell didn't I just stop at break even? Why wasn't I happy with being down $10 or up $10? Why couldn't I walk away at that point instead of making it worse for myself and taking myself on more of an emotional roller coaster and spending more time trading when I could have just left for break even and done other things and come back the next day feeling better about myself and my trading? So obviously I really struggled with this today. I got back to break even, well down $8 on the day. I'm calling that break even. And then I had those thoughts of, I'm basically at 0, so it's like I'm starting fresh on the day. I really wanted to just be like, "Oh, I'll patiently wait for another trade, and if I see a good setup, I'll take it." But I didn't. I stayed out because I've never gotten to break even and just stayed out. So, I think this is just another thing like taking a loss and walking away that I need to practice and I need to get more comfortable with because once we do it a few times, then it helps obviously the next time, right? We can prove to ourselves that we're capable of doing this. And at the end of the week, I don't think I'm going to look back and be like, oh, I really should have went for an extra 50 or $100 on Monday instead of taking that $8 loss. So here's how I'm reframing it for myself. When I get back to break even, I'm going to try not to see it as I didn't make anything. I'm going to try to look at it as I survived today's emotions. I repaired the damage without uh, adding on to it. That's not nothing. That's the skill every professional trader has. Walking away flat isn't giving up. I think it's closing strong because it proves that you can stay in control when every part of you wants to get back in there and just keep fighting for it. So the next time you find yourself hovering around break even, remember this: you're not missing out on profits, you're protecting your edge. Let me know in the comments, is this something you struggle with too? And how do you handle those one more trade moments? Do you get back in and keep trading? Or do you close it down and look at break even as being a successful trading day? I also think that today I might have been, I guess, like in getting out of that trade, I would have liked to the second trade, I would have liked to hold it for the full target, if not more. However, I had been wanting to take another payout. I took a small one on, I think Thursday, just like $50 or something. But it seems that Take Profit Trader doesn't process the payments. Basically, if you want to withdraw money, you should do it like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I think probably Thursday morning at the latest. So don't try to take a payment, Thursday evening through the weekend because it won't be processed. And then you're left kind of like, oh, what's going on with my account? So that $50 withdrawal was processed going into today. So, but I was still up a bit. I had wanted to take out that money before, but I didn't have time. So today, I think it's going to be, what is it? I'm not sure. I think like $140, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. After the profit split, it's over $100 American. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to transfer it over. And then I just know moving forward, those are the days to transfer money over, and don't do it the other days because I don't want the P&L or the thought of payouts to mess with my head when I'm trying to trade. Like I think it kind of messed with me a bit today, not wanting to lose that because I was thinking like I'm losing my payout. I don't know if that makes any sense. Um, and as far as the payouts go, I don't think I'm gonna like update all the time, like, oh, I'm taking $100 today and like, every few days tell you guys what I'm taking out. I'm just going to start taking out like on this account if it's above that $1,500 buffer. And someone in the comments told me to do this and he said like, you'd be surprised how fast these little amounts stack up in there and how good it is for your psychology. And I kind of think that he was right on that because even just so this will be the third little payout that I'm transferring over to my wallet in Take Profit Trader. And it really does feel like it's growing quickly and it kind of takes the pressure of targets off of me in a way. Like I do want to grow the account. I do want to scale up and trade more, like trade bigger size. Um, but I don't know. I feel like every time I try to like scale up or like so if I had a target of like I want to get the account up $2,000 and then I can add on another micro, I feel like that's going to mess with my trading because now I might end up too focused on that $2,000. So I think I might just be better for now just taking out everything that's above $1,500. I'm not sure. I don't know. If you guys have dealt with this sort of like payout situation in prop firms, let me know how you handle it and how you kind of get past these, I guess, mental hurdles of these targets and not focusing too much on them while still growing your accounts. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, leave me a like, comment, subscribe. I hope you all had a really good start to your trading week. Um, yeah, I didn't look at the charts too much after my trade. I looked and I saw that it kept going up, and I was like, I can't watch this. It's like I should have held that trade. I screwed up on that, but oh well. And I also wanted to thank you guys for your feedback on Friday's video where I talked about doing live streams. It sounds like a lot of you want more accountability and sort of want more of the community and being able to interact with each other more. So I am working on some stuff around that. I want to expand the accountability and the community that I found so helpful to the rest of you who want it to work on your discipline. So I will hopefully by the end of the week be able to tell you exactly what I'm going to be doing with that. All right, I'll see you back here tomorrow.